Hello and welcome to this video. So this is a re-upload because the live I did was super laggy. So yeah. So today this video is about secure attachment and how to gain secure attachment. And for those who don't know me, my name is Tasmin Nishat, or Smia for short, and I'm a coach and healer at Nerd for Healing. And yeah, how to gain secure attachment. So I think secure attachment and the journey to gaining secure attachment is really spiritual in nature. We're bred to be codependent and to fill void with other things like, you're not complete unless you have a relationship or, career and money or friends or sex or substances or TV. Like, yeah, codependency is the norm. And so gaining secure attachment, breaking codependency, finding wholeness within ourselves instead of like always needing to fill the void with something is spiritual in nature. Um, so yeah, and so what secure? Like a bit of background on like attachment theory. I won't go into it in depth because I wrote a super informative article on it, which I'll link below. But essentially, like what attachment refers to is our mapping for love and how we got our needs met. In childhood, we learned like models for getting our needs met and what love was like. And, if it wasn't like really consistently available, we learned strategies for getting our needs met and getting love. So, like, for example, like a lot of us, there's like the program of you're not going to get love unless you're obedient and are like a good kid. So, as an adult, like, will have that programming of I won't get love unless I'm like a good person. Um, or like, nice and pleasing, whatever. There's like an infinite amount of programs we can have. You can even have programs for I won't get love unless I'm angry and turbulent. That's also a thing. So it's like it can literally run the gamut. So yeah, like that's kind of like what it is in a nutshell. And so the way to gain yeah, actually, what I'd like to talk about is so yeah, attachment styles is actually like pretty popular. There's quizzes online to like gain your like to figure out like what your attachment style is, and I guess that can be like a good entryway into this kind of work. But like in my experiences, these quizzes are bullshit. Because like they tell me that I have secure attachment, or when I was doing them, they told me I had secure attachment, and that was like 100% not the case. So yeah, I think the best way to like figure out what your attachment style is just to analyze your past relationships and friendships, and also understand that you'll probably have more like depending on the situation, you could be like either anxious or avoidant or disorganized, and it's not like we have like one for sure in all situations, which is a common misconception. So yeah, like I think pretty much most of us have insecure attachment, and I personally believe it goes back to patriarchy. Um, like, when war and violence and the fracturing of families started to happen in humanity. And yeah, like you can trace insecure attachment like passing along generations. There was a study in Gabor Mate's book, When the Body Says No, about, about like, there's like this interview called like the AAI, which I don't know what the first A stands for, but it's basically an attachment interview. And maybe it's called Ainsworth Attachment Review. I'm not sure, but anyway, um, yeah. So they did a study, and like they, my God, my phone is like blowing up. Okay, so yeah, they did like a study, and like what they found is like whatever the attachment interview of the person taking the interview was, it predicted what their kids' attachment would be as well. So the implication is it's like the insecure attachment style goes back generations and generations and generations. So how to gain secure attachment? So basically, like when we don't get our needs met in childhood, there's like a frozen aspect of our psyche that develops, and it kind of runs the show, unless we're aware of it. So yeah, the way to get a secure attachment is actually reprogramming the moment where we learned an insecure style and modeling secure attachment for the inner child. So then it learns that instead. And so then that aspect of our psyche gets integrated back into our whole adult self. So, for example, let's say, like, with many people, they learned, like, that crying and expressing emotion would earn you, like, you know, not good things from your parent. They would either ignore you or say, like, I'll give you something to cry about, or, cheer up, invalidation, or boys don't cry. So, all these things. And so, like, because soothing and expressing our emotions and having those emotions being mirrored and seen by the caregiver is really important for a child's development. If this didn't happen, then we're gonna have like a frozen aspect of our psyche, and that's gonna lead to like insecure attachment style. So what we do is like as our adult self, we can kind of go into a meditative state and like imagine ourselves as that kid, and um, we're imagining like soothing them and saying it's okay to cry, like I'm here for you, and yeah, and that kind of thing helps to unfreeze the inner child and integrate it back into our whole self. So the other thing you can do, instead of using yourself as the secure attachment figure, is using like a divine energy for that. So for example, like if you're looking for like soothing energy, you can look at Kuan Yin or Mother Mary as figures. If you're looking for more like a masculine presence, you can look at Yeshua or Krishna, for example. But whoever like really calls to you, right? The Earth is an amazing figure to have like that attachment figure to as well. So yeah, that's something to think about. Like there's more ways than just getting into a meditative state and like imagining working with the inner child to gain secure attachment. Like mirror work is also a really good one. So that's kind of like saying the things to yourself that you wish you heard as a kid. Like, I'm proud of you, I'm here for you, you're loved unconditionally, like that kind of thing. So yeah, the other way, so those are all like kind of more independent ways of gaining secure attachment. The other way is, actually in relationship. So, yeah, relationships can be very healing and it can help if you have the right partner or even friend, like whoever you're in relationship with. Like if they model like security and love and secure attachment, they can absolutely help you gain secure attachment as well because it helps model for your nervous system like what that feels like. Um, the only thing to keep in mind is to not become codependent on this relationship. It's more like they're helping model it for you so that you know how to do it for yourself as well. So, yeah, like I think the thing to keep in mind is like, a lot of times like attachment style is thought of as like a personality thing. It's like, oh, like, what are you? Oh, I'm avoidant or I'm anxious. And it's this classic like BuzzFeed quiz like phenomenon. But like, I think it's important to keep in mind like having insecure attachment is legitimately a trauma, which is a very common one, but it is still that, right? So not to say that it doesn't come with like its own resiliencies, but like if it's a trauma, that means it's something you can heal. So I think it's really important to look at it like that. And yeah, like my favorite way is to have like the consistent inner child practice, to have like the constant connection to the inner child and having a heartbeat on like what's going on there. But I also like, faster, kind of more immediate shifts. And like theta healing for me was really immediate for working with a lot of my inner child aspects. So yeah, I definitely recommend like a combination of like the consistency plus like something that's more immediate and goes deeper into the subconscious. So yeah, if you are interested in trying theta healing for healing inner child fragments and getting more towards secure attachment, you can definitely book a consult or DM me. Um, yeah. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, yeah, feel free to comment, DM, whatever, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.